Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the world premiere of the new film by Ritu, Sarin, and Tenzing Sonam, A Sweet Requiem. My name is Cameron Bailey. I'm the artistic director here. I'm so glad to see all of you here this morning to see a film that we have been waiting to see for quite a long time. And if you heard me on the mic just now before I came up on stage, please forgive me. I just saw Mira Nair in the audience and my good friend Uma Dakuna as well from India. So I'm thrilled to be here. I want to begin by acknowledging the land that we're on, as we do every time we present something to a public audience here. This is the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat First Peoples. They have been looking after this land for quite literally thousands of years, and we're grateful to be working in this community. A reminder that this film is eligible, as all films in the festival are, for the Gulch People's Choice Award. You decide on that award, so please vote at tiff.net/vote. You can do it on any internet device. And a big thank you to White Crane Films for providing us with this film. This screening, this premiere, takes me back 13 years to 2005. When I first started programming films from South Asia, I discovered that India in particular is not simply a country, it's a continent, it's almost a universe. There is such a range of cultures and languages and traditions and histories going on and interweaving in that country. And one of the ones that I found most interesting was the Tibetan exile community in India. And I saw a film that year in 2005 called Dreaming Lhasa, which was directed by Ritu, Sarin, and Tenzing Sonam. We invited it to premiere here at the festival. It did extraordinarily well. Our audience really embraced it as a portrait of the complexities of living today in exile from Tibet in India. And the directors have been working to express that reality for many, many years, and they have returned with their new film. I'm so pleased to introduce to you this morning Ritu, Sarin, and Tenzing Sonam.
Thank you so much, Cameron, for that wonderful introduction. I can't express just how special this moment is for Ritu and me. Ours is, as Cameron mentioned, it's an exile film, a film without a home. It's a kind of a film that's marooned in a strange kind of no man's land. So, this film really is an expression of the spirit of the Tibetan people. The small number that lives kind of scattered across the globe, but the majority who still live in Tibet, who would never have the opportunity or even the possibility of seeing a film like this. So, that's the reason why this is so special for us. And I want to thank Cameron. I want to thank TIFF for giving us this platform to launch our film and send it out into the world. Thank you so much.
I just want to add my thanks to all of you for being here. And as Tenzing said, it's a very special moment. We've been dreaming about, launching our film in a wonderful festival like this. So thank you, Cameron. And this film wasn't made alone. It was made with a great deal of difficulty, but with a lot of support for our vision and for telling the story. And so many people have been involved, and many of them are here with us. There's cast and crew and producers. We'll introduce you to them after the screening. So please stay for the Q&A, and we'll introduce you to all the wonderful group of people who have come from far to meet us here and be with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leanne Kunjin. It brings me great pleasure to bring back the directors of The Sweet Requiem, Ritu, Sarin, and Tenzing Sonam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're more than welcome to bring your cast up now if you'd like.
Yes, we're so fortunate to have many of our cast and crew here today. So I'd like to ask Dolkar to come up here. join us. And yes, please. And Dorji, I think we should all just come up here. Dorji and Rabyong and yeah. And then the crew members, please. There's David McFarland, our cinematographer, Michael Montes, our composer, and Sri Hari Sathe, my producing partner, and Sonse, our associate director.
We're so glad that you could all make it for this, and we're so glad that you did your world premiere with us here at TIFF. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, if some of you don't know, this was a successful Kickstarter, and a lot of the story or your inspiration is detailed there. But I'm going to ask you that question just for those who don't know. Thank you. Yeah. So what your storytelling has always has previously centered on the Tibetan exile experience. So was there a specific event that influenced this story?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Tibetan, born and brought up in exile as well. So, and Ritu and I have been working a lot with, with the exile community, and a lot of our films are about, are set in that milieu. So, the immediate inspiration for this film came from an incident in 2006 when a group of Tibetans were escaping across the Nangpala Pass, which is a very high pass between Nepal and Tibet. And Chinese border guards opened fire and killed a young nun, a 16-year-old nun. And this incident was actually captured by a Romanian mountain climber who happened to be, climbing in that area. And so for the first time, we had visual evidence of what was happening on these passes when Tibetans were kind of, crossing over. So watching that video footage, I think left a real impact on both of us. And I think the germ of this film really started from that moment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I guess in creating that story, we have Dolkar, and she's living in Delhi, and the moments we see her when it first begins, she's prospering, she's participating in the community. She has a strong group around her. But then she has the video, and she sees self-immolation of the monks back home. And then Gampo arrives, and all of these memories start coming back to her. So how did you build this story around addressing all of these kind of issues of memories of home? And
I'll have to ask Tenzing to answer that because he wrote the script.
yeah.
So one of the things that emerged from that incident in Nangpala, which made us think a lot, was that a lot of children were being sent from Tibet, especially in the 90s. Many children were sent to India because their parents thought that they'd get a Tibetan education in India. And a lot of these kids actually never went back to Tibet, the majority. And they were so kind of doubly exiled. They were in India, but they didn't have any family there. They couldn't connect to their families back in Tibet. So that story was interesting to us. And so we found a way of weaving these two stories together. And I have to say, some of, Dorji here is also a kid like that who came from Tibet and, doesn't have no contact with his family. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this story is very common among the exiled Tibetans.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And I guess even just from your cast, you would have spoken to a lot of people in the community to create your story. So let's talk about kind of building that story and working with the community to film this.
Yeah, so we were very fortunate to have a team because we don't have a Tibetan film industry. And so almost everyone working on this film was non-professional, and some of them have never acted before. Like Dolkar has never acted before. So, and today is the first day she's seeing this film. Yeah. So really, I don't know how it is, but it's amazing. few people have acted before, like Dorji has acted before in a film, and Rabyong, who lives in Seattle, who plays the father, had never acted before, and he sent us a little video and said, I want to be involved with this film. And we were like, we can't afford to bring you here. This is a no-budget kind of film. But he decided to just arrive in India, and he took on that role. And he hadn't been back to India for 17 years at that time. 17 years, is that correct? Or am I just making up a figure? But, it's a long time since he came. So it was really, we were so supported by the community, and of course by these amazing people we worked with, like David and Michael, and my producing partner, Srihari, who has been, without him, this film wouldn't have been made. But all of them were just there for us, and just came out to India, or just came and just started helping us and to make this film happen. And there are a few people in the audience also. Please, could you get up? Like the guys from Dungeon Beach who are here, who helped us make this happen. Our executive producer, Yo, is here, who believed in us some 10 years ago or something like that. And so there's, so there's a whole bunch of people, and I think the community really supported us. I think that's important. And other filmmakers and people who believe in independent cinema supported us. I think when I see the film, I think about all the support we have. I know it's been really challenging, and I talk about the challenges all the time, but then the support feels incredible.
It's fantastic to hear. So my question then next is for Tenzin. So how was this first experience in acting?
I've always been interested in theater and art, and I also teach sometimes Bollywood dance.
You're a great dancer.
So I'm a free soul. I think I can shape into anything, but not into perfection. But this particular role, when I saw the script, when Tenzin and Ritu had a audition post in Facebook, I was like, I really want to do it. And her name is Dolka too. It seems like it's meant for me. But at the same time, I had a lot of nervousness, because it's not only entertainment movie, it's a movie about an individual community that struggle and challenges. It's still going on right now, not only Tibet, but a lot of other countries facing right now. And I think it's something that I have to do it well.
You did.
So, yes.
Yes, you absolutely did.
But yeah, I'm grateful and happy that the first ever film I did was a girl or a woman named Dolka, and about Tibetan community and refugees. So yeah.
It was a fantastic performance. So yeah, it was one thing that I saw when I first, it kind of came to us very early on in the selection process. And when I learned that you hadn't acted before, I was just stunned. You perfectly kind of internalize a lot of the struggle that you guys, that's there in the script. So thank you. Okay, I would like to open the questioning up to the audience now. Right here in the middle.
As you may know, there's first of all, welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
There's a large Tibetan community in Toronto, Parkdale, part of the Tibetan diaspora, and I wondered if you had plans to release the film and show it in Toronto.
So the question is if there are any plans to release the film in Toronto after TIFF.
There are no plans right now, but we are here for the first time showing this film, and we are, talking to distributors and sales agents, and happy to find a way of getting this film out there, because for us it's really important that people see it. So we've made this journey so far, and now it's the next stage of the journey is like, how do we get it to people out there?
Yeah, I don't see many Tibetan faces in the audience today, and I think that's because the tickets for this particular screening sold out quite early.
Yes.
But hopefully, the next two screenings we'll, have a lot more Tibetans coming.
More questions from the audience?
Your performance was mesmerizing. It's your first acting film.
The question is for Dalkar, and if she will continue acting.
Maybe yes, if I like the story. But I still am very active in theatrical movement in general. I'm always interested in that. But with film, I don't know, but maybe.
If the right role comes your way,
Yes.
right?
Okay. Yes, down here. Yes, the question is about the challenges to shoot this film, especially in the mountain pass.
I mean, David, do you want to address some of the challenges?
Yeah, I'm the cinematographer on the film, and it certainly had a bunch of challenges. For me personally, I'd never worked in India before. I have a career of shooting all over the world, but this is my first time in India, and one of the deals with getting me over there was that I used an entirely local crew, so I was the only Westerner on the film. But we started our scouting in Delhi, where we shot the present day footage, and then we went up to an area, the very northern point of India called Ladakh, and filmed all the mountain sequences there, which was very challenging for obvious reasons. We filmed in March.
8 days, I think, in April.
Right, April, yeah. So we went there for the snow, and the elevation was dictated by where the snow was, and we ended up filming most of it around 15,000 feet. We were staying in the town of Leh, which I think is like 13,500.
A little less, I think. Like
Okay,
around
yeah,
12,
it was definitely the highest I've ever been up there. So obviously that was very challenging. And we had a 2-hour drive each way to our location, so we ended up shooting those scenes in about 6 hours each day. And it was cold, and the elevation was hard to deal with. And then, juxtaposed to that was our shoot in Delhi, which was about 45 degrees Celsius every day, and everyone was just laughing at me because I was sweating profusely, and everyone else seemed to be just cool with it, which I'm glad I could provide some kind of a comic relief. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of challenges to making a film like this. We had to keep our crew small. We had to move very quickly. I personally I took an approach of, shunning any kind of Hollywood lighting or any kind of techniques like that. The camera was moving always through Dolkar's point of view, whether it's present day or in the past. And that's kind of how we developed our language. So the camera was, mainly handheld, and yeah, it was great.
Absolutely.
Challenges. Srihari, do you want to speak about some challenges?
Well, basically, I mean, the movie took a long time to finance, particularly financing a film that's not in English language is very hard. And in this case, a Tibetan language, which is not a huge industry. So one of our biggest challenges was putting the financing together. And I think because of the support of our amazing crew and the team that we were able to build, we are able to be here. But the challenge for us doesn't stop here. It continues because we need to get the film out there. So before we wrap up the Q&A, I want to say please vote. Please like us on Facebook. We're at The Sweet Requiem, and tweet at us and get the word out so more people can see the film.
Yep. Okay, we have one down here. Yep. So the question is for the composer, and what was the process to write the music for this film?
Well, early on, I believe we decided that we didn't want to go the route of using Tibetan instruments. It would be a little bit on the nose, and we wanted to be more emotionally involved and do the emotional underpinning of the story and the feelings that were going on, as opposed to being too direct with that. So that was a big part of it. There are some Asian flavors in there, but it's not directly Tibetan. And we found some music that we liked, and we developed it and worked with it. My directors are just so wonderful to work with. They're very clear about what they like and what they don't like. And so that was a very nice experience because there was not too much guessing going on. We're very clear, very, very purposeful in what we did. And it was very helpful.
I think.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Some questions.
Yes. Okay. We have time for one more, I think.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the question is if there's plans to show this film to the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. We actually live in Dharamsala, which is where the Dalai Lama lives. That's our home. Yeah, yeah. And so we will be showing it there. I think these days it's really hard to invite the Dalai Lama for an event like this, but for a screening because he's so very busy. But of course, we will, provide a DVD or a copy and hope he has a chance to see it.
Okay. Okay. Last question. Yeah.
First of all, I'd just love to say that it's an absolutely phenomenal movie. We loved it so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My question is, where did you find your little dog?
Yes. Yeah. So the question is about the child dog.
So the area that we shot the mountain sequences in Ladakh has a large Tibetan refugee community, and they have schools there, the Tibetan Children's Village. So actually about 3 years ago, we had done a kind of a recce trip there and already auditioned a whole bunch of kids and found that to our surprise that these small kids were really quite natural, actors and were really excited and wanted to do it. But of course, by the time we actually raised the money, those kids had, were 3 years older. So we had to go back again and look for more kids. But in the end, yes, Sonse, our associate director, who's wearing the hat at the end, he went and he kind of auditioned the kids, and he found this Dolkar, who acted in the film, and she was just lovely. Yeah.
She was a star. She was just naturally very happy to be there. And had a great relationship with a lot of our team.
Including the dad here who had to carry her at 15,000 feet all the time. And she was, kind of growing, so she was getting heavier and heavier as well.
Oh, well, thank you very much for sharing all of this journey of this film with us. And again, yes, if you enjoyed the film, please don't forget to vote for it for the Gross People's Choice Award. So yes, so thank you very much. And
Thank you. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you so much.